What the fuck is up? It is your host, Erica Nalen, and welcome back to another episode of the Hangover series. Okay. Hi, you guys. Go Knicks. I'm wish I had someone to hold my hand today while we go through what we're going to go through, but I don't. I just have my bed and my own hands to hold. But hey, what is up, everybody? I hope we're having a great week. I'm wearing a Knicks hat right now because 1, I got it for $10 on the side of the road. 2, we won. Congratulations. I'm their biggest fan. And 3, this hat got me hit on by 4 people in one night. And that has literally never happened to me before. I don't know what was in the air. I don't know if a spell was put on me. I don't know what kind of majestic energy I was giving off. And I think it might be the hat. And we're going to get into it. Don't you frickin' worry. We have some new characters unlocked. I texted my sister that this weekend. I was like, new characters unlocked. And she's like, characters? What are you talking about? And I'm like, I forget you're like a millennial or something. Like, keep up with the program. It's a thing. But we won. I'm obsessed with basketball now. And yeah, I love them. Go team. I've never been this passionate about anything in my whole life. And I love the color blue. I also posted selfies of me. Okay, well, to take it back, I ordered the orange shirt. I think I told you guys this last week that I ordered an orange shirt to wear to the game because I wanted to, be passionate, look prepared, look like I've been a fan for years. I wanted to be involved. And I didn't quite know where people were getting these hats from. So I ordered an orange shirt. And I was going to wear the orange shirt with the hat. And I took selfies in it. And I posted them on the gram. And I was posting an outfit video. And all the things were happening. And then I kept looking at myself. And I was like, I look like so fake. 1, I look so fake. 2, I look so passionate about something that I just learned was a thing 3 days ago. So I texted my friend a selfie. And I was like, is the orange doing a lot? Is the tank top doing too much right now? And she was like, yeah, take it off. So I wore a black tank, but the hat, I'm glad I didn't wear the orange tank because I actually think I would have got bullied at the bar and made fun of, and people would have been like, who's your favorite player? And I would have been like, I just became a fan. Okay, everybody F the frick off. I'm new here. But anyways, we won. It was exciting. It was fun. And I think I took the partying aspect of this game way too seriously. I think I consumed the most amount of tequila shots I've ever had in my whole life in one setting. Questionable decisions were made. Not super questionable, but the amount of tequila shots I had is super questionable, concerning. Not too concerning, but I was out for a long time. So when I did the math, I was like, you know what? Actually, it's not that concerning. It is, but I was out for a really long time. But yeah, I wanted to go over other things before we got into that because in my brain, I have to go in order of the week. I can't go backwards. So the first thing I wanted to tell you guys about was my ceiling. I posted a photo of my bathroom ceiling and the shower was leaking and there was water coming from it. So basically what happened is it was after work last week and I was like, all I want to do tonight after work is take a really long, nice shower and be one with my pajamas. I want to be one with the couch, be one with my pajamas. I have a random obsession. Well, I get randomly nostalgic. And I think this night I bought one of those frozen meals that just reminds you of childhood. And you're just I don't know what's in this, and I don't want to know what's in this. One of those kind of feelings. Like, that was the vibe I was on. So I go in the bathroom to take this said shower, and there is water coming from like the vents, coming from the fan, coming from the light, coming from the ceiling where I would be standing in the shower, like so much water coming from the ceiling. So I was like, what the fuck is this? There's water all over the floor. So I text my roommate a picture, and I was like, huge emergency. Like, huge emergency. Just walked in the bathroom. There's water everywhere. Like, SOS. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but the landlord hates me and wouldn't let me be on the lease. So I'm not on the lease here. He knows I live here, but I'm not involved. And so I like can't text them or call them or like message any of them. Like, I'm not involved. So I'm like, emergency. And my roommate is like, oh, like, go tell the girls upstairs. And I'm like, the girls upstairs? Like, what? Okay, let's go meet our neighbors. So I go upstairs. I'm knocking on their door. They're not answering, which, oh my God, I hope they cannot hear me right now because that would be so fucking embarrassing. I just remembered that their bedroom is probably right above my bedroom. Help. Anywho, I go knock on their door. They're not answering. I keep knocking. They're not answering. I hear someone in there. So I knock again. Because I was like, I don't know what to do, but my roommate is like telling me to knock on their door. So one of them is like, I think someone's knocking on our door. And then I said through the door, like, yeah, hi, I'm out here. I am knocking. And then they came and opened the door. And they're like, what's up? And I was like, my roommate told me to come up here, but there's water leaking into our bathroom. And it's coming from the lights, and it's coming from the vent, and it's coming from every corner ever. And they were like, shit, it's happening again? And I'm looking at them like, what do you mean it's happening again? And they were like, this happened back in December, whatever. And then they were like, we'll text whoever and tell your roommate to text whoever. And I'm like, okay. And then they were like, how bad is it? Like, can we finish showering? And I was like, I mean, there's water coming from everywhere. Like, I don't know. Like, I need to clean the floors, but like, you know, what's a little more water to me? What's a little more water to me? But they were like, okay, we won't shower. And then I looked at them and I was like, wait, do you guys think I can take a shower? And they were like, girl, you're asking the wrong person. You're asking the wrong person. So I went back downstairs. The water stops because I guess when they shower, whatever's going on in there, when they shower, it was coming from their shower. So like dirty water, I think. Concerning, right? So then I'm like calling everybody I know. I call my best friend who lives here. I'm like contemplating asking if I can go shower at her house, but she's pretty far from me. So I'm like, ugh, if I go shower at her house, then I'm gonna have to get an Uber home because I'm sorry, I like personally just can't get on the subway in my pajamas and wet hair. Like, that's just not my vibe. My hair takes like 5 to 6 hours to fully dry. Like, I don't want to be dripping on the subway. Like, you know, I just don't want to be that person. So I'd have to get an Uber. The Ubers are so expensive, so it'd probably be like $80. Like, do I really want to spend $80 just to take a shower? So I call her and I'm like, hey, tell her and her boyfriend what's going on because, like, obviously they know. I don't know. Sometimes I look at couples and I'm just like, they know what they're doing. They know about showers. They know the answer. I don't know why, but I think that way sometimes. And I feel like these friends, they know the answer. So I'm like, do you guys think I can shower? Because my mom and my sister were like, I would not shower. I would not get in that shower. It's gonna fall through. That's how you could die. Like, they're giving me anxiety. They're like, you need to, if you're gonna shower, you need to be in there in 3 minutes and get out. You know, like, it's all gonna fall on you. You could break through. And I'm like, fuck. And then I was thinking about the Marty Supreme movie when that guy like falls through the bathroom at the motel. And I'm like, wait, I think about that every time I shower here because the motel energy in Marty Supreme is honestly giving the same energy that my bathroom is. Like, sketch. So I was like, I do think about that every time I'm in the shower. Like, what if I just fell through? And I should probably knock on some fucking wood after this, but I'm always like, what if I just fell through? Because sometimes it does seem like the shower is a little bit rocky. One, like, I could get so injured doing that, which, like, obviously is the main concern. But two, I don't want to be found naked. Like, are you serious? I don't want to fall through the bathtub and have my neighbors downstairs see me naked. Hell the fuck no. And then the police come and I'm naked. Like, hell the fuck no. Hell the fuck no. So that's my concern. I mean, obviously I don't want to get injured, but I also don't want to be naked in front of that many people. Awkward. Like, give me a towel. I don't know. Like, what would you do? What would you do? It would be weird. So my mom and my sister were like, I would not shower till it's fixed. Like, there's water in the ceiling. Like, sketch. So I called my friend and her boyfriend, and they were like, I think it's fine to shower. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So everyone was telling me, like, don't turn the lights on since it was coming through the lights. You know, that means there's water in the electricity. But I showered. I was brave. I did it. I showered in the dark. Some guy came the next day. He knocked on our door. I think my roommate told him, like, go to the people upstairs. It's coming from their shower. He did something. Water is not leaking anymore. But, like, is that concerning? Like, is the ceiling wet? Are they gonna fall through? Are we okay? You know, haven't heard a peep. And I have a feeling this is why I'm not on the lease, because I would have been calling and been like, am I safe? Is my safety important to you? Do you care about me? I would have called him and been like, hey, do you think I can shower or am I going to fall through? You know, like, I have a lot of questions. And every time I tell people about the apartment I'm living in, everyone's like, just staring at me like, where do you live? And are you okay? And I'm just like, yeah. I just have no thoughts about it, honestly. Like, I spent so many of my thoughts when he wouldn't send me the lease, like, months ago when that whole thing was happening. I feel like I had so many thoughts back then that now I'm just like, I don't have any thoughts about it. If no one else is concerned, I guess I'm not concerned. And maybe that's not the way that I should be living, but it is. And I'm gonna knock on some wood now. I hope that's real wood. So another thing that happened this week was that I also told you guys before I went to do my laundry in last week's episode, I was like, I'm going to do my laundry. Like, I hope something exciting happens on my way there. Mind you, I think I had like 40 pounds of laundry because I don't know what happened, but I maybe went 2 weeks without doing laundry or something. And a lot had to be done. I had a lot of towels. I had a lot of clothes. I had blankets. I had so many things that needed to be washed, and it was crazy. And I was like, I hope something exciting happens at the laundromat. And I'm just never going to say those words again. Because first of all, I was walking to do laundry. It's like 3 blocks away, 4 blocks away, something like that. And yes, I wear a backpack, but like apparently everyone wears these backpacks here because obviously how else are you supposed to do your laundry? But I never see anyone else with a backpack. Like, I kid you not, never see anyone else. It's always just me with a backpack outside. And the backpack is ginormous and it does, you know, look really heavy when I wear it because it is. But I've never been laughed at before, which was one of my biggest fears when I bought this backpack. I was like, oh my God, I hope no one laughs at me. Like, I hate being laughed at in a judgmental way. You know, it makes me want to curl up into a ball and cry like I'm 5 years old. Anyways, I was walking to do my laundry and this man is driving by me and he's laughing his ass off. And at first I was like, oh, he's probably just like on the phone with his hilarious girlfriend or something. No, he's laughing at me and he drives by me and we make eye contact and he like literally pointed and laughed at me. And I was like, wait, is my backpack that large? Like, do I look like I just have not done laundry in centuries? Like, help. I don't know what's going on, and I'm sorry to the public that I'm wearing this in public, but I didn't want to be laughed at. So now I'm embarrassed about doing laundry because why are men laughing at me? I literally think I have like trauma from men laughing at me because it all stems from when I was like 5 or 6 years old and my family and I were eating at Aranza and I was crying about something. I'm a very emotional person. I feel like I used to be like, I'm not emotional, and now I'm just owning that I am emotional. Okay? I am emotional. I'm a Cancer sun and a Cancer moon, so do what you want with that information, but know that my emotions are heavy and know that I feel things deeply, and I'm not ashamed of it anymore. You know what? I do cry. We all do. I hope. Anyways, I was really, 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 really sensitive when I was little. Like, I had to really grow a backbone. Is that what it's called? I feel like that's not what it's called. I've been saying things this past weekend so incorrectly that people were like straight up laughing at me this weekend. Like, they were like, how did you think that's how you said that? Why did you just use that word? So, I don't know. Anyways, I had to really grow a backbone, if that's this phrase that I'm trying to think of. But I was a really sensitive kid and I would cry over like everything. Like if someone was like mean in any way, shape, or form, or I felt like they were being mean, I was crying. And I was crying about something, and my family and I were eating at Arenza, and these boys who were probably like in high school, and I was like 5 or 6, and they were in high school, and they were laughing at me and pointing at me while I was crying, and it made me even more sad because I was like, why are they laughing at me? And I like literally have their faces engraved in my brain because I think I was like so sad about whatever it was, and then I'm being laughed at. So like honestly, when that man laughed at me when I was doing the laundry, I was like having a flashback to being 5 years old and crying in Arenza. So everything stems back to childhood. And honestly, I think everything does, because why am I still thinking about the kids that laughed at me when I was 5? And why are men still laughing at me at 24? Help. I almost said 25, and it's because I'm turning 25 this weekend. Actually, when this episode comes out, it'll be my 25th birthday. Eek. So I think I've been practicing saying 25 because the other day someone asked me how old I was and I accidentally was like, "Oh, I'm 22." I was like, "Wait. Help, I'm 20 fucking 4 and I'm about to be 20 fucking 5," and that like kind of makes me want to throw up. Like, I'm excited, but like also makes me want to throw up, you know? Like, this is the first year where I'm like, "Wait, that makes me want to throw up." Yeah. But anyways, so I was like, I hope something exciting happens when I go do my laundry. One, I get laughed at and having flashbacks to childhood. And then I get to the laundromat, and this man is just fully in his tidy whities. I kept saying tidy whities, and people were like, what is that? Someone please tell me that's a thing. Isn't that a thing? Like when you wear your underwear, your tidy whities? Should I Google that? Because I'm scared I'm saying something so inappropriate. Like when I said penetration and I meant palpitation, that was so embarrassing. Oh, it's whitey tidies. Whitey tidies. Okay. Okay. So I just had it backwards. YOLO. Anyways, so I walk in and a man's just like fully in his underwear, white underwear, mind you, like see through. And I was like, whoa, because he was like pretty old. And I like to like not judge old people because they're old, but you know, I feel like old people, they just like don't give a fuck. They really don't give a fuck. And I praise them for that. Like, I'm like, straight up, I wish I could get in my underwear in here right now and not give a fuck. Like, that's the type of vibe I want to be on, honestly. I respect. But I walk in, man's in his full underwear, basically can see through his pants, his underwear, and I'm putting my clothes in. I'm like, okay, maybe I manifested this. Like, I asked for something exciting, and here I am. And then I see him sit down on the chair that I sat in last time, and I sat my booty there for like 2 hours doing my laundry. He sits in that chair, and then I was like, you never know what you're sitting in. Whether it's the subway, the airport, wherever you are, the laundromat, you never know whose ass has been there. Toilet seat, everywhere. You don't know whose ass has been there. And my ass had been there before, and I had no idea that a man in his underwear's ass was also there. But now I know. and I'm disgusted. So I saw him sit there and I was like, okay, noted, never sitting there again. And then he stood back up and I was leaving because I like leave while my clothes are in there normally. Like I only sat in there once because it was so late. But I'm leaving and he asked me for help. And I was like, of course. Of course this man somehow needs my help. Out of everyone in here, he wants my help. But I didn't really know how to help him. He was asking me how to change it to hot, so I changed it to hot. And then he was asking me how to start it, but then I opened it and there weren't any clothes in there, so I was like, there's no clothes in here. And then he just started calling for someone that worked there to help him. Like, he didn't give a fuck about me anymore. He said, you're useless. But yeah, I had no idea people were just like getting naked in the laundromat. And then when I came back later, he was putting on his clothes that he had just washed and dried. So like, it's smart, but like, you're in public. Like, can you imagine if I just like undressed and people were walking in and I was just like in a thong? Like, I feel like I would get the police called on me. I don't know. Very interesting. Another thing that happened this week, literally overnight this has happened. I have become one of those people that accidentally somehow always has their flashlight on their phone on. I don't know what my fingers have been doing or what's been going on, but my roommate the other day was like, hey, like, your light's on. And I thought she meant my bedroom light, so I was like, oh, I left my bedroom light on? Weird. Like, I always turn that off. So I start walking to my bedroom, I turn it off, and she's like, no, like, your flashlight on your phone. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Then the other day I come home and she's like, your flashlight on your phone is on again. I'm like, what the fuck? And then it happened again the other day. And I'm like, who the fuck is turning my flashlight on my phone? How am I doing that? Like, am I just walking around in the grocery store with a flashlight on? Am I just everywhere with a flashlight on? And how is it getting turned on? Maybe I need to delete flashlight off my phone because I rarely use it. And when I was telling my friend this the other day too, she thought that I meant that I was bringing a full-on flashlight out in the public, like one that I bought. And I'm like, no. The flashlight on my phone. I've become one of those people. I did use my flashlight today actually because I was really scared that Honey threw up under my bed. We've been having beef today. She's sick and has thrown up. And I heard her under my bed and I heard her do a little throw up sound and I was like, no. No, we cannot have that here. We cannot have you throwing up under my bed. We can have you killing spiders. We can have you killing weird bugs that get in here, but throwing up under my bed, not an option. And I was really scared that she threw up under there because that's just not a vibe. But yeah, I've become a flashlight person overnight. And I don't know how I have become that. I think I might need to move the flashlight away from my phone. I don't know. But what I really wanted to tell you guys about was about how this hat was blessed with something. This hat has some magical fucking powers. And I'm thinking about, well, I don't really want to wear it again. But maybe I should. But this hat has magical fucking powers because who the hell gets hit on 4 times in one night without some magic kind of powers going on? Like, you guys are not going to believe the shit that I'm about to tell you. Because I genuinely was like, what is going on? And my friends were like, what is going on? Like, craziness. So basically, we went to this rooftop 3-level bar to watch the Knicks game on Saturday. And we got there at like 7 p.m. and you had to wait in a line outside. And yeah, you had to wait in a line outside. We waited for like an hour. So we're waiting in line and there's like this group of maybe like 6 or 7 guys in front of us. Whatever. And then my friends were like, one of those guys in that group keeps staring at you. Like, he keeps staring at you. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Haven't noticed. They're like, no, he keeps staring at you. I'm like, okay, well, he can talk to me if he wants. He doesn't talk to me, whatever. They get a table or they get let in the bar. We get let in the bar like 20 minutes later. But we go to a different floor because we were going to eat food and have some drinks and then go to like the fun part of the bar during halftime. So we eat our food, we eat our drinks, and then we go to the bottom part of the bar during halftime. And then my friend and I were like, let's go to the bathroom. Because then I had a couple drinks and I had a shot and I was like, wait, I think it's time that you show me who was staring at me, because now I've had a couple drinks and now I'm interested. And now I'm feeling kinder. When we were waiting in line, I was like, he can talk to me. But then after I had a couple of drinks, I was like, wait, which men were you talking about? What did he look like? So me and her go to the bathroom. And as we're walking by the man, he looks at me and he was like, hey, Miss Missouri, or something like that. Like he said, like, hey, Miss Missouri, or it's the girl from Missouri. And I looked at him and I was like, I'm not from Missouri. I'm from Nebraska. And then we just kept walking. And we went to the bathroom. And then we walked past him again and we started talking to him for a second. And he said that he was listening to me talk to my friends and thought that I was funny. And he thought that I said I was from Missouri, but I think someone else was talking about Missouri. So I was like, no, I'm from Nebraska. And whatever. We were chatting for like maybe 5 minutes. And then I was like, okay, well, I gotta go back to my other friends. Like, nice meeting you. And then he was like, well, you should keep talking to me because the more you talk, the more points we make. And I was like, okay, that was kind of smooth. And then I was like, no, like, I have to go back to my friends, because one thing about me, I forgot people were watching a basketball game, and another thing about me, I want to go back to my friends. Always and forever. So I'm like, no, I have to go back to my friends. And then he was like, okay, well, let me get your number first. So homeboy got my number, and he actually texted me and asked me on a date, but I'm busy this week, so I think we're going to go out next week. I'll keep you guys updated to see if he's actually a man of his word. Because one thing about me, in the past, you know, men like to say a lot of things, but like, I'm looking for a man that can plan something, a man who does what he's going to say, and like a man that can do something without needing my assistance. And a man that's just going to like be a doer. Be a doer. I was telling someone that the other day. I'm like, I need a man that's a doer. Like, I used to fill in the gaps for men. Like, men would be like, I'm interested in you. Like, I want to take you out. Then they wouldn't take me out, and I would fill in the gaps for them. And I'd be like, okay, like, I'm free this day. Should we go here? Filling in the gaps. I'm not trying to fill in the gaps anymore. If someone's asking me out, they can fill in the gaps. We all know where restaurants are. We all know where bars are. We all know how to call a restaurant, make a reservation. It's really simple. So I'm done filling in the gaps for people, and I want a man that's a doer. So he asked me on a date. I said I'm free next week, and we'll see what he plans, and we'll see if he's a doer. But anyways, so that's man number one. Then we leave to go to a different bar after the game ends, and we're on the subway. I was low-key being obnoxious on the subway because I was filming the Melissa I'm Outside TikTok, and I kept having my friend videotape me, and I saw one of the TikToks, and there's this girl in the background of it, and she is looking at me like I am the most annoying person she's ever seen in her whole life. So like, honestly, I might have been really annoying everybody on the subway, but like, whatever, go basketball, like, everybody should be excited. Anyways, we're on the subway, I'm making TikToks, I'm being silly, and all of a sudden this man rises up, and he looks at me, and he stands up from his seat, and he's standing next to me, and he's like, you are so beautiful. And I just couldn't not say something to you. And I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? But this guy was like, looks like he was a bit older than me. Like, I feel like he might have been 35, 36. Like, he definitely looked older than me. But he's like hitting on me. He's asking where I'm going tonight, all this stuff. And I, you know, he was nice and friendly, but I was like, wait, I like do not need a man following me to the bar. Like, I just can't have that right now. So I'm like, just, you know, being nice, but whatever. Like, I don't know. My sister was like, why don't you just tell them you have a boyfriend? But I'm like, it's so hard to do that when you're on a crowded subway and someone's like standing right next to you and like there's nowhere for you to go. Like, I could be like, I have a boyfriend, but then it's gonna be, we're still next to each other. Like, I don't know, maybe I do need to work on that. But anyways, then he's like, what's your number? And I was started giving him my number, but then like the train doors open, so I'm like running out of the subway. And he's like asking me like, what's your number? Like yelling, and I'm literally yelling my phone number out loud on a busy subway while I'm running off of it. And when I woke up the next morning, I was like, wait, did I just like high key announce my phone number to everyone on the subway, like for anyone to text me? Like, that's crazy. Because I do remember someone like winked at me like, hey, get it, girl. And I'm like, wait, I'm not even interested in this man. I have no idea why I just gave this man my phone number. Like, I don't know what's going on, but he never texted me, so he must have got my number wrong. Honestly, like, thank God. But but I'm just never doing that again. I'm never doing that again. I'm gonna learn how to be like, I have a boyfriend. I'm just kind of bad at lying sometimes. So I feel like if they were like, oh, like, what's your boyfriend's name? I'd be like, Jimmy. And then they'd be like, oh, what does Jimmy do for work? And I'd be like, you know what? This is like a lot of questions and I don't have a story lined up right now. Okay? Like, please just stop speaking to me. And then they're like, it's just a whole thing. But anyways, that happened. Then we go to the bar. And then I don't know where this man came from. I don't even remember how we met in the bar. You know, it's a little bit blurry. But from my recollection, he was cute and he was from Egypt. And we were vibing and we were having fun and we were flirting. And then I was like, I'm hungry. So this is man number 3. I'm like, I'm hungry. So him and I went to get pizza at the pizza place next door, which is like literally my favorite thing ever, is that you can just go get pizza next door. Like, it was like 3:30 in the morning and I'm like, I want pizza. There's somewhere open for you. So we went and got pizza together and then we ate it on a bench outside. And I was like, this is so romantic. But while we're walking to go get the pizza, as we were leaving the bar, I saw this man who had cool hair, and I just be giving out compliments when I'm in this state of mind. So I saw this man with cool hair, and we were walking by him, leaving the bar, and I was like, I like your hair. I said, I like your hair. And me and the man from Egypt keep walking to go get pizza. We leave the bar. We're walking to the pizza place. All of a sudden, the man who I said I like your hair to starts running after us. And he comes up to me and he's like, where are you going? Like, you're so beautiful, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, like, we're going to get pizza. And then he's like, well, who do you want to take you to get pizza? And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, who do you want to take you to get pizza? Me or him? Do you want me or do you want him? And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. 1, what the hell is happening? 2, like, is this the first time men are fighting over me? Because I kind of like it. 3, I want pizza. Like, I'm like, I don't want either of you. I just want pizza. Like, I'm so lost right now. So luckily the man from Egypt looked at the man who just came running for me. And he was like, she's good, man. She's good. And then he left us alone. And then we got pizza. And then we ate it on a bench. But yeah, is that not crazy? I mean, I guess I did spark some of those, like complimenting a man's hair, like I did spark that. Boom, sparked, but like shook. Like 4 men. I mean, 2 were cute. 2, I don't know what was going on, but like 4 men, like I was like, I love New York. I was telling my sister because she's going to be here this weekend for my birthday. Well, actually, she's not coming for my birthday. She's actually coming to hang out with her other friends, but it just so happens to be my birthday. So please don't. Where am I going with any of this? Oh, I was telling my sister that she's going to be hit on because, like, men here approach, and I freaking love it. I love it. And I feel like when I was like, oh, like I'll just find a man in the streets when I'm walking through Central Park, or, you know, when I'm at dinner, like I'm just gonna find my man by him finding me. And I think that's really possible here. But then I was also concerned because I was like, oh my gosh, like that guy that had good banter that wants to take me out, like, what if he does that at every bar he's at? Like, what if I'm not special? What if he does that to everybody? We'll have to find out. We'll have to find out if he does that to everybody. It's going to be the first question I ask on our date. How many girls have you hit on? Just kidding. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on not asking questions I don't want answers to. Because in the past, like, I've dated people where I'd be like, did you think that girl was hot? And they'd be like, yeah, she's hotter than you. And then I'd be sad. And I'm like, wait, why did I ask? Why did I ask? You know? So, like, maybe I shouldn't ask. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But yeah, that was crazy. I don't know if it's the hat or if something's in the air or what kind of energy is going on. But I like it. Maybe it's because I'm turning 25 and, like, that's a vibe. I don't know what's going on, but I'm obsessed with everything about it. I'm, like, kind of still hungover. Like, I'm not hungover, but I just still feel funky. And I'm trying to mentally prepare for my friends to get here because they're going to be here for 4 days. And that means I'm going to have martinis for 4 days, obviously. So I'm trying to, like, really get in the headspace for that. You know, like, that's the vibe I'm going for. Martini vibe. 25. I hope my friends are prepared to blow up balloons because I have a vision. And maybe I'll get a helium tank. They're kind of expensive, though. I almost ordered one on Amazon, and they're like $60. And I'm like, wait. Like, I really want balloons in the ceiling, but not for $60. Not for $60. But I think Target had a helium machine, so I need to go back. But, yeah. I just can't believe that happened to me. And I'm like, am I a witch? Like, is it the hat? Is it my vibe? Is it because I was wearing flip-flop heels? I wore the flip-flop heels again. I don't even care if wearing flip-flops here isn't a thing. It's gonna be a thing for me. That's my vibe. Is it the red nail theory? Like, my toenails are red? What is it? What is it? What was in the air? What was in the air? And I think it's a good thing I didn't wear the orange shirt. But yeah, I'm turning 25 this week. When you hear this, I will be 25. That's crazy. I'm excited. I'm scared. I'm everything. It's kind of all I had for you guys today. I was like, let me tell them the fucking tea. But yeah, I'll see you guys when I'm 25, I guess. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, goodbye 24. That actually makes me want to cry. I almost said throw up, but it kind of just makes me want to cry. But goodbye 24 and hello 25. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye.